Hi, how are you? Thank you for having us here today. We are Smooth Consulting Group, and my name is Brandon Makudowicz.
I'm Dylan Murillo.
I'm Titus Way.
I'm Justin Lopez.
And I'm Oscar Sanchez.
First and foremost, we appreciate you on allowing us to consult on the following issues prepared. We are Smooth Consulting Group, and after our extensive research on the company, we have found some eye-opening results. With CashApp having over 7 million users, it is undeniable how large and successful of a company it is. CashApp has always been about simple usage and customer-friendly services. With that being said, CashApp as a company has revolutionized the means of sharing money virtually with ease with a new technologically savvy society. Although the company has made many innovative moves, there have been corners that have been cut. As the company tries to invent new ways to make money transferring simpler, there have been a plethora of email complaints from customers saying that Cash App features have not been functioning properly, along with customer service being subpar at best. Presented on the screen is a list of issues that we've discovered through our research. With the first one being no protection for mistakes. For example, if a customer had an incorrect transaction in their account, they could not fight that transaction. It would automatically process through because there is no customer service line that will really help the customer in fixing the situation, which leads to number two, an ineffective customer service desk. As of right now, Cash App only has an email service and a very poor quality live chat. And that's in and of itself is an issue because the email is only automated messages that are basically cookie cutter messages. And people usually shy away from even contacting customer service when they're just giving robot messages. Along with that, number three, there's no solutions to pre-existing issues. And this builds on the previous number, as there's no customer service, and the customer service is very lackluster. And through all the forums and review pages, we have also noticed that these problems are very similar and they're repeating problems that have not been solved. And number four, there have been multiple issues with the Cash App card. The Cash App card was developed to replace the traditional debit and credit card, but it was unsuccessful because there are a lot of limitations to it as to where you could use it to purchase certain things like gift cards. And also there are limitations to how much money you could put in and withdraw from the Cash App card. Although traditional debit and credit cards allow you, or also have these limitations, they allow you to process transactions that you deem are not suspicious. And Cash App does not provide this. And this finalizes it to number five. There's no variation of communication with Cash App. So currently, like I've mentioned before, there's only an email and a live chat. With that, a lot of customers are being shied away. And these emails have been stacking up, and no one is really giving a clear-cut response to any of these issues. With the solutions we provide in our presentation, we believe that these issues could be solved very quickly and effectively.
All right, so let's begin with the first issue at hand, which is customer service. We want to ensure that customers using the Cash App app are feeling valued, cared for, and appreciated. Let me share a quote from a customer directly from the Better Business Bureau. For the last couple months, while using Cash App, I've been a victim of fraud and identity theft. I have continuously been in contact with Cash App, trying to close my accounts, and they have done nothing to help protect my identity. All they keep doing is giving me new cards, but it hasn't stopped anyone from drafting funds from my account. They never help me dispute any claims from unauthorized transactions. They keep switching me to new customer service reps that make me explain everything over and over and over again. I just had $2 in my account and I asked them to close it. Now it says I'm negative $8 and they won't tell me how this happened. I can't close the account with a negative balance and I haven't made any new purchases. Close quotations. As you can see through this customer's concerns, the customer service line is subpar. In order to resolve this issue, we are proposing implementing a new live chat customer service line. With the introduction of live chat, It will be simple and much easier for your customers to submit a form with their problem. No longer will it require a long process to do this. Customers will be able to get live help from an expert on your team. This will create a system where customers can get real help and solutions to their problems in real time. It will solve the issue of customers complaining that it takes an extremely long process to reach customer service and will also help solve the dilemma of the customer service not being up to par. Now, the second issue at hand, we'll be looking at lack of customer protection. If you recall from the last customer testimony, they had $2 in their account and it went to negative $8, and they had no way of stopping that, nor could they get the money back. We have come up with a simple yet efficient decision that will help solve this problem. This is called two-factor authentication. With the addition of this authentication process, it will require customers to enter a code which they have received either via email or phone, and will require customers to input the code they received before any of the transactions are allowed to go through. A simple fix, this will help customers stay safe and secure, and is a process that has been adopted by many other competitors such as PayPal and Venmo. This will not only solve the issue with a lot of the fraud, but it will put Cash App on the same level as the other competitors and will allow your customers to feel much more safe and secure.
The third issue at hand is about how Cash App deals with these problems that are coming from their customers. When Cash App first launched their app, they envisioned a society where the absence of physical cash was ideal. However, after the common problems of people either being scammed or robbed of their money, people are thinking twice about using apps like Cash App to substitute physical money. James Sackett, a college professor, spoke with 13 on Your Side News about his story with Cash App. Last November, James and his wife noticed several charges, and they were all from people that he did not know, and he did not authorize these charges. To quote James, there's like 6 to 7 transactions in a row of people charging somewhere from $1,000 to $2,000 each time within the past 2 days, and within 5 minutes of each other. Just boom, 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 before you can even stop and unlink your card. And in total, all of these transactions ended up being $10,000 gone for James and his wife. And as with any normal customer of Cash App, they would be pretty upset about it. The first thing James tried to do was reach Cash App through the phone, but they were currently in the process of getting more lines for Cash App support. And the only response that James got out of that phone call were the regular automated instructions. Then he tried to contact Cash App through email, only to get the same automated response. And every time the automated response would tell him to try to retrieve his money back from the strangers that took it. After weeks of trying to get a genuine response and still getting nothing, James and his wife took evasive action by contacting their credit union, canceling their cards, and filing a formal fraudulent complaint, bringing in Michigan Credit Union to fight against Cash App to get their money back. They were eventually able to retrieve their money back, but not long afterwards, James and his wife had their money stolen again, with someone else's credit card somehow linked to their account through Cash App, despite them unlinking their bank accounts. And at this point, James doesn't know what to do because his wife is now associated with fraudulent activity. Unfortunately, James is not the only one who's dealing with fraud while using Cash App. According to Cincinnati 9 News, others are likely to be scammed of their money through the same phone calls or emails. Corinthia, who wanted to keep her last name private, regularly tries to pay her rent, but one day her usual rent payments and even more were suddenly in the hands of someone else. It began with an email to me, and it said $499 would be withdrawn from my account, Corinthia said. So, as like most people, she picked up the phone and tried to call Cash App to try to get her money back. However, this is how most scammers take advantage of people. They try to pretend that they work for Cash App when somebody picks up the phone, but instead they end up taking money from people through the phone call. And they also do it by telling people to download a different app, which will not be named for disclosure, in order to figure out what happened. But again, this is how people are tricked into losing their money. And there was no surprise here when Corinthia lost $1,600 more from that phone call, leaving her with only $4 left in her Cash App account. And it only gets worse. Sometimes people will be tricked into calling scammers when they have incorrect financial information. Mark Fisher had some errors on his paycheck, so he called the same number, the same one number that Cash App provides, and he was hung up on. And when he was hung up on, $3,400 of his went missing. At this point, it seems like that scammers and people robbing others' money seem to be a huge reoccurring problem. And as successful as Cash App is, they are doing practically nothing to solve the same issues arising over and over again from their customers. And we would wonder how Cash App would continue to get away with this in the future. So we have several solutions to tackle all the scams and all the robberies that are going on through people's digital bank accounts. Our first solution is about getting several Cash App employees on the phone lines so that people can receive genuine responses in hopefully a short amount of time. We also ask that Cash App does the same thing with their email so that, again, they can expect genuine responses in only a matter of minutes or hours. In terms of the app itself, we want them to include a public status option where their customers can manually change who can see their bank account and who can take money out of it to avoid any more strangers taking money out of their account. And finally, we want there to be some sort of fingerprint/face scanner when people first open the app so that security can easily recognize them. And in the case of their phone or mobile device getting taken, the money will still be safe because the unrecognized person will not be able to get through to the bank account and take money out of it. And we feel like with all of these new friendly options, people will not have to think twice about their money being safe.
The next problem that we want to talk about was a variation of communication between Cash App and its customers. Now, as we know, there's a difference in technology that people are willing to use, comfortable with using, or have accessible to them. Now, what we want to implement is a new phone call service and email service that allows a personalized and efficient experience that will get customers' problems over and done with while they're also comfortable. So we've also implemented a live chat and new employees, and now we're going to be implementing these two factors into these the new variations in communication. These personalized experiences will allow each customer to have their own problem solved while leaving them with a memorable experience. Now, this means that not only will they get their problem solved and have their issues resolved so they'll get their money back and they won't have to worry about their bank account anymore, but it will also leave them with an experience that will allow them to share with other people about how flexible we are as a company, or as Cash App is. Now, results will include a more satisfied community. This means that our negative reviews will go down. We'll experience a more positive community that is optimistic about their experiences with us. Now, this satisfied community will also bring in users. By this, you won't hear two friends talking about how unreasonable Cash App is and how it's extremely difficult to get your own money back while you're using someone else's service. Now, although this should never happen, if it does, it's Cash App's job to get it solved as quickly and efficiently as possible. Now, for the budget regarding our plan, we want to give at least $1 million annually towards the employees. This will allow for a $17 pay rate for starting employees. Obviously, this may increase as time goes on and employees remain loyal to Cash App. And regarding technology, new implementations such as our live chat, our phone call service, and emails, these will result in a new computer systems for each employee that's being hired with us. So we want to give at least $250,000 in order to implement that into new technology. And as far as renovations go, we want to give this new staff their own office space so that they don't have to worry about outside noise or distractions. They could focus on their customers and their own work quickly and efficiently. Now, this will total in around $1.5 million, obviously $1 million annually, and $500 in a one-time expense. Now, as for the timetable for the project, we want to get the project under 6 months, about a day under 6 months. We'll start on January 1st, 2021. This will be when we begin renovations for a new office space. On February 13th, we hope to, around 6 weeks later, we hope to have the renovations done so you can test our first trials on the new software implemented with computers. And then on March 1st, we want to begin our hiring process. Obviously, this will be while technology is still being implemented and perfected. And then April 1st, we'll launch our customer service platform. This will be when we're monitoring to make sure everything's going smoothly and to address any issues that arise from the staff regarding our new technology, as well as customer feedback to see if our plan is being implemented efficiently enough. And this is where any kinks or deficiencies will be noticed and will be fixed by the time May 30th comes around. This will be when everything's worked out and our program will be run fully and independently.
All right, so to evaluate success, we expect the positive online reviews to greatly increase. At the moment, CashApp is rated a 1.2 stars out of 5 on the Trustpilot website. And this is a website that users often go to see if they're willing to trust a company or a certain website with their money. An increase in customer interaction is also what we expect with this success as well, as we want people to trust CashApp with more of their funds, and we expect that to happen as they can continue to see that they can trust in these new features that we have implemented and the team we have put together. We expect them to put more funds into their accounts and use this card as more of their daily card rather than other cards. We also expect to see an increase in users applying, with the reviews going up and more people getting this card each day, as CashApp is a common app for people to use, as it is an easy way to transfer money from one to another. We will expect these numbers to go up greatly, as at the moment, most people hesitate to get this card as they see that it's not a card that they can trust with their money. As in many times and cases, people have reported to lose money and not be able to contact CashApp at the moment, but we expect this to change. We also expect a decrease in these fraud claims and money stolen out of these users' accounts. We expect this again with our two-factor authentication feature, as this will prevent hackers and certain bots to take out money from users' accounts, as it will require more from the user in order to make a certain transaction. And we expect this customer service to resonate with the customers themselves, as we expect them to be able to trust us, again, like we said, trust us with their funds and their problems, not having to go to their banks or credit unions. In conclusions, we expect all these solutions to be able to be implemented at once. Again, like we said, we will have a 5-month table about to implement all of these and make them run smoothly, but they will all be able to be implemented all together without interfering with one another. Some solutions can be added over time if not willing to make the full commitment into all the solutions we have recommended. The upfront cost of all these solutions will be $500,000, with an additional $1 million throughout the year, or a higher amount, depending on the size of the team you're willing to commit to. The most important solutions we see at the moment are the live chat issue and the phone line issue, as that is a common way that people are scammed. And the following most important thing would be the two-factor authentication, as it will increase our customer security and trust within the card. We'd like to thank you for having us today and giving our team, the Smooth Consulting Group, an opportunity to share these new ideas with you and hope to move further in this project with CashApp.
If you have any further questions or concerns, feel free to contact us at smoothconsultinggroup@gmail.com. With that being said, have a nice day. Art.